Hi guys, and welcome to another interesting tutorial. So in today's one, guys, as you can see already on your screen, we are going to be making this beautiful shirt cowl dress at the back with a collar. This already looks interesting, so if you're interested in knowing how to make this beautiful top from start to finish, then sit right back and watch me take you through the process of getting this done. In the course of this tutorial, I'm going to be making use of all this. So to get started, I'm going to first of all be drafting out a basic bodice pattern with a cut together sleeve. That's for the front part, okay, without the button allowance. Okay, so just watch me do that. But to get started, I'm going to first of all be marking out all the vertical measurements from shoulder downwards. So I have the armhole length, which I use 10 inches, and then the under bust, and then the half waist length and the blouse length. Okay, note that in all these vertical measurements, I did not mark the breast point, and I'm going to be coming to the reason why I didn't mark the breast point measurements. So this is me connecting all the vertical measurements horizontally like so. And once I was done with that, so this is me writing now. This is my center front. Forget that I wrote center back, sorry about that. So this is my armhole. Like I said, I didn't mark the breast point, okay, and that is because I used 10 inches for the armhole length because they cut together sleeve, and then the breast point is that I'm supposed to use is the breast point for this measurement is 10.5. So you can see that the difference between the armhole and the breast point length is just 0.5. So I just ignored that and it came down to the under bust. Okay, so this is the under bust, the half waist, and then the blouse length. Okay, so from the center front, I'm going to be marking the sleeve length and the shoulder all together because remember this is a cut together sleeve. So from the center back or the center front, I mark all the way to 15 inches because that's where I want the total length and sleeve length to terminate. And then at the armhole length again, I mark the same 15 inches, and then I have that connected with the vertical line. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to get the under bust round measurement and then divide that by 4. Okay, so this is my under bust measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to be adding an allowance that would be able to accommodate the bust measurement, you get, because we didn't mark the breast point or using the bust measurement here. So I added an allowance of 2 inches to the under bust measurement. Okay, so right from the under bust, I come down to the blouse length. Okay, I'm going to be dividing the hip measurement by 4. You can see that I did not mark anything at the half waist, that's the waist measurement, because it's not necessary for this top. So I come down, I divide the hip measurement by 4, and then I added the seam allowance of 1.5. I'm adding the seam allowances because this is a free top and I have that connected from the under bust to the half waist. So it's time for me to connect from the armhole down to the under bust. So this is me trying to use my free hand to dot to see if I can get that, and that was okay. So I got my curve rule to make the curving more visible. So I have that connected. So this sharp point, I'm just trying to make it curvy. Okay, so the next thing is to mark out my neck width, which is I used 2.5 inches for the neck width, and for the neck depth I used 1.5 inch. For this neck depth, I'm still going to be adjusting that, okay, but I'm just using 1.5 because this is my pattern. So at this sleeve length area, I'm coming down by 3/4 of an inch, that's 0.75 for this shoulder slant, and then I have that slanted to the base of the neckline. So at this point, my pattern for the front is ready and I'm cutting out, as you can see me do. Please, if you haven't subscribed at this point, why not do justice by just clicking on that red subscribe button, liking, and then commenting below. So at this point, my front pattern is ready and I'm going to be using this to cut out the back pattern. So in cutting the back pattern, if you want to cut on your pattern paper before you proceed to cutting your fabric, then that's fine, but for me, I do not need that. But this is just in case you want to cut on your pattern before you proceed to cutting on your fabric. So for me, I just went straight to cutting on my fabric. Okay, so I placed my pattern paper on my fabric that is placed on, like I'm correcting this because this center front. So in cutting of the fabric, I added an extra 2.5 inches for the button allowance and then 3 inches at the length of the sleeve because I want it longer than the pattern, and at the side I added 1.5 inches. Okay, and at the sleeve area I also added 1.5 inches, and that's all for the seam allowances. Okay, so that's basically it. And then for the neckline, because this is the front, I increased the neck depth by 3 inches, which I'm going to be showing you shortly. So I divided the front because it has button at the front. So this is me increasing the neck depth of the front fabric. Okay, so I increase it and then I have that cut out as well. So this is what I have for my front pattern with the button allowance. So for the back fabric cutting, I placed my pattern like so. We added 3 inches to the length of the front, so I'm adding the same thing to that of the back, and this is the excess 3 inches I'm adding to the length of my front and back. Okay, because I want the top to be longer than the pattern length. My pattern paper is here because of the excess 3 inches, but if I didn't add the extra 3 inches, I'll just bring down my pattern paper like so. This is what the placement should look like. Okay, so that's it. So I just take it back to the length that I want, and from the center fold at the upper part, the neck area, I measure about 12 12 to 13 inches, depending on how cowl you want that to be. If you want it to fall more than that, then that's it, but I use 12 inches. And then I just mark that with a straight line from the base of my neckline to the center of the fabric, and then from that place I'm going to be folding it inward. The excess I have at the upper part is going to be acting as the facing, and at the sleeve area I added an extra 1.5 inches, so I'm going to be cutting along all my seam allowances on the fabric like so. Please endeavor to pay attention to every single step. Okay, so this is what the cutting at the upper shoulder area looks like. So after that, I brought out this part that I folded in. Like I said, this is going to be acting as the facing for the cowl neckline area. So I opened it up and this is what it looks like. Okay, so this facing area, I just fold it in like so as I'm about to form our cowl neckline. So I turned it over, I flipped it over like so, and then this is what it looks like. I just push down the center front or center back like so, and then I arrange the shoulder area, and you can see that our cowl neckline is already obviously shaped. So this is what our back fabric looks like. So for the front, I'm just going to be putting an interfacing at this part that I'm going to be folding for the button allowance, and then have it stitched. So after I was done with the placement of the interfacing and then folding the button allowance, this is what I have, and then I place it over on the shoulder area, and I have the shoulder stitched like so. Okay, this is what I'm going to be stitching, and after stitching, this is what I have. You can see our cowl neckline at the back. So this is what the front looks like, and next I'm going to be stitching the sleeve area. So I just fold it over using a 1 inch or 1.5 depending on the seam allowance you added, and after that, this is what I have. Okay, so this sleeve area is ready, so it's left for the side, and I'm going to be closing the side and then hem the down part. Okay, and for the collar, I just get my fabric, I place it on fold like so. I measure out the neck round, which is about 16 inches, and I added my seam allowances. So at this point, I'm going to be cutting this part off. That's why I'm marking it. I come up at this side by 1.5 inches, and then I curve it to the base of my fabric like so, and then at this center part I come up by 2 inches, and then from this side I curve down or curve towards the 2 inches that I mark at the center. So this is what the first part looks like, and from this part I come up by 3/4 of an inch, and then at this side I'm going to be connecting to the 3/4, and then I curve like so. In case you do not know how to go about your collar cutting, let me know in the comment section. I can put you through on that in a different video, but so make sure that this video is not too long. I just cut out, this is the collar for the top, so I cut out, this is the first part, and then this is the other part of the collar. So I cut this out, and I'm going to be cutting this in two. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and by the time I open it up, this is what we have. So this is the one, and then this is two. Okay, for the collar, I'm going to be cutting the interfacing, I'm going to be putting stay on 8, and after I was done, this is what I have. I already have this part stitched, as you can see, and I have it ironed, but for this I haven't done that. And to proceed with the collar, I'm going to be notching the center of the 3 of them. So I get this, and I have the center notched. Okay, so after I notch this, I'm going to be notching the other 2. So I get this and also notch the center. Please take note of the part of the neck of the collar that I'm notching. So I have this notched. Okay, so this is what I have, and then I get this, I place it on it, making sure that the notched part are together. You can see the 3 notched parts are in the same spot, and I'm going to be stitching like so. So after stitching, guys, this is what I have. This is what my collar looks like. I'm going to be opening it up, and then I have it well ironed. So at this point, this is ready for use for my blouse. So to fix it on the top, I get the neck of my top. As you can see, we have the cowl at the back, so I get the front part. This is where the collar is going to be attached to the bodice of the fabric. So from the neck, front neck, center front to the shoulder area, I get that notch. And because the back is a cowl neckline, we do not need the neckline to be attached to the back neckline. Okay, just at the front. And at this point, I just get the collar, and then I have it folded into 2. So the point that I have notched on the other side, I just trace it to the second part, and I have the second part notched as well, and I open it up. So when I open it up, from this notched part to this, so this center part like so, I'm going to be stitching that using 1/2 inch from this point to this point. Okay, leaving out this part, I'm going to be stitching to the front. Okay, so this is just where I'm going to be stitching. After stitching, this is what I have. I have it notched, and then I'm going to be having it turned inside out. Okay, so I have it turned like so. So for the turning, you have to be very patient. You don't need to be forceful about it so that you don't mess up the collar. So I have it turned out, and then I'm going to be ironing it later on. So this is me just making sure that the notched part is well placed or well put out. So after that, this is ready to be fixed on the fabric or the top. So I get it for the front, and then I'm just going to be stitching just like you would do, like stitch your normal collar. And after that, guys, our top is ready. So this is what the beautiful top came out looking like, guys. I love the top, I love the color, I love the fabric, the texture and everything. So this is what we have, guys. At the end of the day, I think I have just the button and the buttonhole to get done, and guys, we are ready, done and dusted. This is what the back looks like, you can see. And with that being said, we are done, dusted and set, and this is what we came out looking like, guys. This is what the final outcome of our back cowl cut together collar top looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. For me, I enjoyed it. It's not complicated at all, so I know that even if you are a beginner, this is so beginner friendly. I hope your time watching this tutorial was well spent. Thank you, guys, and see you in my very next one. Bye.